The newest additions to the Pokemon insert color here have arrived in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. As the franchise's first open world game, the hype surrounding this release was immense. With those great anticipations comes great expectations. Game Freak captured the essence of trying to catch 'em all in an open world environment wonderfully. But they might be taking a seat next to Project Red's Cyberpunk because of some atrocious performance and graphics issues. Are they enough to derail the game entirely? Let's get into it. The open world exploration feels like a perfect fit for the Pokemon Color series because of the burning desire to go catch 'em all. Having the whim to go wandering around looking for your favorite Pokemon never got old. The variety of Pokemon and the environments that they can be found in encourages going off the beaten path. Luckily, doing so felt so rewarding. Everything about this game mechanically feels familiar to anyone who grew up playing the OG Pokemon games on Game Boy. It tapped into my Pokemon nostalgia, and I have so much fun leveling up my Pokemon, catching new ones, and earning badges in Pokemon gyms. If you're hoping this game scratches that itch of feeling like you're playing an open world Pokemon Red or Blue game, then you will be happily satisfied. Something new added to the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet games are the Terra raid battles. I really enjoyed the Terra Pokemon raids because it adds a bit of a raid boss feeling to the game that you can do with friends or solo. There are different Terra types that have strengths and weaknesses, so identifying those will help you take them down more efficiently. They're tough fights that take a little bit of strategy or planning, which is a nice change up from some of the easier fights that you take on out in the wild. You do have the ability to capture these Terra raid Pokemon, which can be instant adds to your lineup and improve your team. Even if they're not up to snuff for your main rotation of Pokemon, you are rewarded handsomely with materials, potions, and upgrades. In regards to Pokemon as a whole, I love the design and look of the new Pokemon that are added to the family alongside some familiar friends from the old days. It felt like a great balance of old and new that satisfies both the Pokemon veterans and new players alike. As for the plot of Scarlet and Violet, there's not really much of a story outside of going out there and making a name for yourself. There's a gym for every element type, which will send you on your voyage towards building a well-rounded Pokédex. You can take on Titan Pokemon that unlock bigger mysteries, or you can take on some troublemaking trainers who are part of the group Team Star. While there isn't much depth in story with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, these aspects listed work well in providing things to do while beefing up that Pokédex. While the game is fun to play at its core, it's not immune to some well-deserved criticism. To travel the spacious open world, you're gifted with either Koraidon or Miraidon, depending on whether you purchase the Scarlet or Violet version. They're legendary Pokemon that serve a dual purpose as a vehicle to get around. I appreciate the gesture, but making a Pokemon serve and look like a motor vehicle feels so misplaced. Why can't we just ride Pokemon that are mountable like horses or rhinos or anything that doesn't have freaking wheels? Pokemon, built for tough. While I enjoy poking fun at motor vehicle Pokemon, the most noticeable blunder is the god-awful graphics that a Nintendo GameCube could put to shame. At first I was ready to blame the outdated Switch hardware for the lackluster graphics, but then I think about games like Xenoblade that look wonderful on the Switch. The character models are from 2004, there's more texture in a cue ball from a pool table, and the environments feel a bit barren. I'm all for games having their own art style, but this isn't style, this is offensive. All the characters look like copy and paste models from Wii Sports, and every town feels like a cardboard cutout with flat buildings and lifeless streets. Even when you're out exploring, it's noticeable. The diverse environments are great, but there's not much foliage or anything to make them feel alive. When the game is all about exploring, you need these places to feel memorable, and they don't. If you're on social media at all, you probably know what critique is coming next. This game is ridden with performance issues. You can think of any common video game bug, and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet probably have it. Clipping, tons of drop frames, character models disappearing, occasional black screens, you name it. When you mix graphics from 2002 with every technical issue under the sun, it can make that $60 or $120 price point painful. I do want to make it known that I personally have not, I repeat, have not experienced some of the major bugs that I've seen going around the internet. I have noticed plenty of drop frames, clip-ins, and black screens, but haven't had my character models wig out or anything of the nature. Just because it hasn't happened to me though, doesn't mean these issues aren't there. I played most of my time in solo or offline mode, and it did seem that the online co-op experiences gave people the most trouble. At the end of the day, this game just wasn't ready and should have been delayed. The issues that plague this game are fixable and just need time to iron out. But instead, we're left with another Cyberpunk game where it's a great time if you can bear the awful issues. And that's kind of the issue I have with this game and Nintendo as a whole. Pokemon is the highest grossing game franchise of all time. That's right, more than Mario, Mickey Mouse, or any other titan that you can think of. Why are they not held to a higher standard? People will defend and buy Pokemon games regardless of how much the devs improve on the games, yet crucify games like Cyberpunk or Halo for having the same technical issues. It's okay to love something and also be critical of it in hopes to see improvement. Game Freak knows that we will buy any Pokemon game because it's more Pokemon. I feel like it's led to complacency with no pushback from Pokemon or Nintendo fans to demand better from them. At its core, this game is seriously fun, and I love exploring the world looking for new and old Pokemon alike. You can't deny the game's fun factor, but the performance and technological issues are so offensive coming from such a big player in the gaming and pop culture landscape. If, and I really do mean if, you can get past the issues at hand, it is a fun and addicting game at its core. I still look forward to playing it every time and can't get enough of trying to complete my Pokedex. The essence of the OG Pokemon games is captured so wonderfully, which is why the tech issues hurt so much. These tech issues is why I can't in good conscience give Pokemon Scarlet or Violet a good score. It's a rushed game with zero polish, and it comes from a good place wanting to see Game Freak improve on what they have. Until the issues, as long as the CVS receipt get fixed, Scarlet and Violet get a 6.5 out of 10. If they can remedy these performance issues sooner than later, then we're looking at a game falling more in the 8.5 range. Do you think my score is too low? Are you experiencing many of the issues seen around the internet? Let me know in the comments, and while you're there, tap that like button on the video. With more games on the horizon, don't forget to tap that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future reviews, previews, and playthroughs. I appreciate all the love, comments, and conversations, so keep them coming. This is Josh Robinson with Joystick Gamer. Thanks again, and stay gaming out there.